Hello everyone, it is currently 13 minutes past 1 o'clock on Wednesday, the 7th of May 2025. So, you should probably know by now that Election Day here in the Philippines is now only 5 days away. So, yeah, book your calendars, make sure that you are not doing anything much, like you're not busy on election day, because you should vote. Now, this video is not about who I think you should vote for. That is up to you. I do have my own political opinions, and I may or may not share them in the future. I will, don't worry, I will share my political opinions, but I'm not trying to force them on you. It is still up to you, even though your political opinions might be considered awful. It's still your opinion. I'm just telling you that voting should be compulsory in this country. Do you want to know why I think that should be the case? Even if in this nation we do have to impose penalties if someone does not vote in two successive regular elections. What I mean by regular elections, I mean the general election and the midterm election. Alright, let's just do a bit of a search. Okay. What? Philippines Electoral College. Crazy. Hold on. I'm just trying to look at how many registered voters there are here in the Philippines. Now, according to the Philippine News Agency, there is now close to 69 million people who are registered to vote in the Philippines. To be more precise, it is 68.43 million. That's according to PCIJ.org. Go look them up. They are very reputable sources. Now, when I last checked the election voting data in 2022 for the 2022 presidential election, I simply just added up the voting totals, that it was only just over 50 million people who have voted, like actually turned up and vote in the 2022 election. Now, it was 2022, it was 3 years ago, so let's do give or take 15 million Filipinos did not cast their ballot. Will that happen again this time? Well, it is a midterm election, so there is a possibility that it could go even higher. Now, I think it should be compulsory, it should be mandatory to vote in all levels of government, whether that be national, provincial, municipal, citywide, local, barangay, SK, all of those electable positions of government, no matter how big or small, should be compulsory in this nation. Now, why is that? Now, I am a Filipino, I live in the Philippines, and I have a general idea of what our attitudes are towards some or a lot of things, okay? I'm not some posh Filipino who lives in a big mansion. No, I'm just a middle-class Filipino. I just belong to a middle-class family who earns a decent income, okay? It's not big, it's not small either. However, here in the Philippines, we have this thing called the mañana habit. It's basically being lazy, like procrastinating a lot of things. We like procrastinating here in the Philippines, especially young people and the ones who are around the low to high 30s. That kind of age range, maybe even low 40s, those kinds of people. Even I cram on a lot of things. Look, this thing, I just came up with this video, and the time now is 18 past 1. So yes, I am indeed cramming when I'm making this video. I don't know if you can call it that. Anyways, Filipinos are incredibly lazy, okay? I am saying that as a Filipino myself who loves this nation, who loves the people here, and who loves and cherishes this nation that I was born, live, and I certainly will die in. I was born here, I lived here, I was raised here, so I will die here. But as a society, we are just so lazy. If we're not forced to do something, we're absolutely not doing it. So, as a, guardrail to protect our democracy and to avoid so many people not voting in elections, no matter how big or small, voting should be compulsory. Okay? Now, beyond that, it's up to you if you want to lower the voting age to 17. I think it should, but 18 years old, I'm turning 18 in a month, so not really a problem for me. But I do think that the electorate, the Philippine electorate, should be forced to vote, okay? No matter how awful, how amazing, how radical your political opinions are, you should have the right to vote, and you should exercise that right to vote, okay? We may live in a flawed democracy, but it is still a democracy. Not everyone has the privilege or even the right to get to engage in democracy and politics in a manner that we have here in the Philippines. Okay? I was told multiple times to shut up about politics, but I think we shouldn't. I am not criticizing here that which this person has these awful policies and that. No. I am saying this as a nation, okay? I am saying this to the nation as a whole. I am not pointing, I am not naming specific people here. No. I am addressing this to the people of the Republic of the Philippines. We need to vote, okay? If we're not going to vote, someone or something must force us to, because this cannot continue to happen. Imagine how many outcomes would have changed if those 15 million Filipinos would have just turned up to vote, okay? Did you really think we were going to have a Marcos presidency if those 15 million were simply just forced and would have access to vote? My theory is, I do not think so, okay? 15 million, okay? 15 million, imagine that, 15 million people, give or take 5 million people did not vote, okay? So, I think people here in the Philippines need to vote, and it should be mandatory, okay? Alright, that is a very long rant for a policy that might not even be enacted because of some personal and political interests. Alright, that is it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.